Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to explore something that most people don't even realize. The United States is not just about the 50 states we always hear about. Beyond the mainland, beyond Hawaii and Puerto Rico, there are scattered islands across oceans that belong to America, but they're rarely mentioned in school textbooks or news headlines. Some are tropical paradises filled with vibrant culture, some are remote military outposts that played key roles in history, and some are so untouched that only scientists and wildlife call them home. By the end of this video, you'll know about America's forgotten islands, their history, their people, and the hidden stories that make them so fascinating. Let's begin with Guam. Sitting in the vast western Pacific Ocean, Guam is thousands of miles away from California and actually much closer to the Philippines. This island has been shaped by centuries of history. Before it became an American territory, Guam was a Spanish colony, then occupied by Japan during World War II, and finally liberated by U.S. forces. That layered history left behind Spanish churches, Japanese bunkers, and American bases, all on one tiny island. The Chamorro people, Guam's native population, have preserved their traditions, from dances to cuisine, making Guam a cultural treasure. The island is also home to a massive U.S. military presence, giving it the nickname America's unsinkable aircraft carrier. Fun fact, residents of Guam are U.S. citizens, but they cannot vote for president unless they live on the mainland. Imagine being part of America, but without that political voice. It's a reality that shapes life on the island. From there, let's travel southeast to American Samoa. Located in the South Pacific about halfway between Hawaii and New Zealand, this territory is truly unique because it's the only place in the U.S. where people are recognized as U.S. nationals rather than full citizens at birth. It may sound confusing, but here's what it means. American Samoans carry U.S. passports, can live and work anywhere in the States, but don't automatically gain the same rights as citizens unless they go through naturalization. Despite this complicated status, life in American Samoa is deeply tied to culture. Families live in extended groups called aiga, and traditions known as Fa'a Samoa, the Samoan way, shape daily life. With dramatic volcanic peaks, lush green jungles, and villages along the sea, American Samoa feels like paradise. Imagine waking up to the sound of waves and living in a place where modern America and ancient Polynesian traditions meet. Now let's jump across the globe to the Caribbean, where we find the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John. These islands are famous for their postcard-perfect beauty, white sand, turquoise seas, and cruise ships pulling into port. Tourists often see them as vacation playgrounds, but few know their history. In 1917, the United States purchased the Virgin Islands from Denmark for $25 million in gold, mainly to secure them as a naval base during World War I. Even today, traces of Danish influence remain in the buildings and street names, blending with Caribbean rhythms and American identity. The islands depend heavily on tourism, but they're also home to a proud local population who carry their own cultural traditions. So while you might think of the Virgin Islands as simply beaches and cocktails, they are living communities with a history of colonization, resilience, and transformation under American rule. Heading back into the Pacific, we find Wake Island. At first glance, it's just a tiny ring of land in the middle of the ocean. No permanent residents, no tourist resorts. But in the 1940s, Wake Island became a crucial battleground during World War II. American forces fought desperately to defend it from Japan, and the island's story is still remembered in military history. After the war, it continued to serve as an important U.S. military base, especially during the Cold War. Even today, Wake is not open to tourists. Only military personnel and contractors are allowed. Imagine standing there, thousands of miles from anywhere, on an island most people will never even see on a map. It's still America, but it feels like the edge of the world. Not far away, we come to the Northern Mariana Islands, a chain of 14 islands north of Guam. These islands are full of contrasts. On one hand, Saipan, the largest island, was the site of one of the bloodiest battles of World War II, where thousands of soldiers and civilians lost their lives. Reminders of that history still remain, bunkers, memorials, and wrecks hidden in the jungle. On the other hand, today, Saipan and its neighboring islands are known for tourism. Visitors come for world-class scuba diving, coral reefs, and a fascinating cultural blend where American, Asian, and Polynesian influences mix together. It's a place where history and natural beauty are impossible to separate. Now let's turn to one of the most mysterious U.S. territories, Palmyra Atoll. Unlike Guam or the Virgin Islands, Palmyra has no permanent population. It's so remote that the only people who ever stay there are scientists and conservationists studying the incredible biodiversity. Palmyra is home to one of the most pristine coral reef systems on the planet. Think of colorful fish darting through untouched coral gardens, sea turtles gliding by, and seabirds nesting in peace. A rare glimpse of what the natural world looked like before humans spread across the oceans. Palmyra is proof that not every U.S. territory is about people, politics, or war. Sometimes it's about preserving something pure and wild. Finally, let's talk about two tiny names on the map, Baker Island and Howland Island. These are remote, uninhabited territories near the equator. They may seem like dots in the ocean, but Howland Island is linked to one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century. In 1937, legendary aviator Amelia Earhart was attempting to fly around the world. Her plan was to land on Howland Island, but she never made it. Her plane vanished somewhere in the Pacific, and the mystery of what happened has never been solved. Today, both Howland and Baker are wildlife refuges, home mainly to seabirds and marine life, but they remain symbols of exploration, risk, and the limits of human achievement. So what do all these islands tell us? They remind us that the United States is not just a block of land with 50 states. It's a global collection of territories, some full of culture and people, some tied to military history, some untouched by human life. From Guam's Chamorro traditions to American Samoa's unique legal status, from the Virgin Islands' colonial past to the mystery of Amelia Earhart at Howland, these islands are more than forgotten footnotes. They're living, breathing parts of the American story. So there you have it, the forgotten islands of America. Which one surprised you the most? Was it the pristine beauty of Palmyra, the political quirks of American Samoa, or the tragic mystery of Amelia Earhart at Howland? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. There are so many hidden stories around the world waiting to be explored, and we'll uncover them together in future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.